Let me ask this question of you. Was one of the 2 or 3 pretty much most promoted matches with interviews and angles and drama and back and forth such and such on this thing, the MJF and Samoa Joe versus the Gun Boys, the Ass Boys for the Ring of Honor Tag Team title? That was one of the more heavily plugged matches, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was one of the more heavily plugged matches. It was certainly because it's a part of the
Talked about.
it's part of the big key storyline, and they've been teasing the stuff with MJF and Joe for weeks. But they've done this before where all the stuff MJF's doing on TV, it starts in the pre-show for some reason.
Yes, and that's what it did again with that match was on the pre-show. They had a 4 fucking hour, actually, no, I tell a lie, 3 hours and 56 minutes pay-per-view. So they put an hour of matches on before that to burn out the live crowd. And in the process, I told you this, I think your cable said, well, you don't watch this on cable even. Do you watch this through the mysticism of the streaming?
The Bleacher Report app. That way Warner Brothers Discovery gets a nice cut.
Yeah, well, fuck them. I want to be comfortable, so I'm on the couch watching the 75-inch, and I got the pay-per-view, and I bought the pay-per-view and set to record the pay-per-view. And then that afternoon, for whatever reason, I can't even remember, maybe I checked to see if you had tweeted any clips, but I saw it's on the pre-show, that match. So I go down to see if the pre-show is available, and it's 2 30-minute blocks on my Spectrum cable pay-per-view titled Countdown. And it doesn't have any information on what it's counting down to, and there's a blank square where the thumbnail should be. And if you didn't know that you were ordering a pay-per-view or a pre-show to a pay-per-view, it would not tell you in any way.
Not AEW Countdown, just Countdown.
Just Countdown. It's like the typical, remember the old days, the Barker Channel, where they aired a pre-taped, infomercial for in 30 minutes, you can order this pay-per-view. And you got that free on the pay-per-view channel, and then it went black if you didn't order the pay-per-view. And that's what this is still set up like, and you would never even know it was there if you didn't already know that AEW was going to do some kind of pre-show before the show. So anyway, I recorded that too. And wouldn't you know, it was on the second half or the second episode of Countdown from 7:30 to 8. But again, the world champion and the featured angle, and it's on a pre-show. And wouldn't that be something that if you said it's going to open the pay-per-view, folks, to give MJF plenty of time in the middle, then it would be an attraction for people to buy the fucking show, not the free part.
Not disagreeing with you, but playing devil's advocate. If the argument is doing this on the pre-show, the way it was done, the way it was a cliffhanger, was done specifically to build late buys for the pay-per-view, do you think that's a reasonable argument?
No, because I think they fucking shoved themselves off the cliff. Because they told the people that the defending champion in the main event was hurt and he'd just been stretchered out and taken into an ambulance. So I guess he's off the show. What the how is that a fucking... They would have had to tell people, well, but he saw that episode of Raw 25 years ago where Austin went to the hospital, hijacked the ambulance, and came back. The point is, they have the match. They get the heat on MJF. They give Joe the hot tag, and he makes the big comeback. And then they do their back and forth. And there was some tension between Joe and MJF. That was well done. This was not a bad match for telling the story of the angle. It was very good for that. I question the placement and the whole 9 yards of what the fuck they've done this evening. But MJF and Joe were both excellent, and the Guns are, young. Well, I guess they're not as young. They're not like teenagers, but they're very good for their experience level. Anyway, But they got to do a little gaga. So they hit their finish on Joe, the Guns did. MJF saved him, the Guns stopped him, and then Adam Cole's music plays. And because Adam Cole hobbles out on crutches, the Guns are gobsmacked and stand there until Joe comes up behind one of them and chokes him out. And they win. But what? He's on crutches and he's immobile and he was 100 feet away. Was there imminent danger that they had to stand there like they'd just seen the creature from the Black Lagoon?
What's the other option? To continue to beat up their opponent?
Yeah, the guy they're actually in the fight with that has 2 good legs and might come back and choke them out.
I can see how that would have worked out better. Yeah.
If it was Brock Lesnar coming down the aisleway, I might stand there. Oh shit! But he's fucking crippled. Anyway, so MJF and Joe shake hands. And by the way, MJF was wearing the "He's Our Scumbag" shirt, but at the proper angle when he was standing there, it looked like "He's Our Cum Rag." I don't know why I saw that. So then the Guns.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I think it's the fluoride they've taken out of the water. The Guns jump up and beat up MJF and get the chair and do whatever the fuck and hurt his leg while Adam Cole is standing there helpless because he can't do anything like he couldn't do anything 30 seconds ago because he's crippled. And basically they hurt MJF. They stretcher him out and they show him being loaded into a waiting ambulance. I have not only been loaded into an ambulance by a legitimate ambulance EMT crew that was not smartened up to anything, but I've seen it also happen in legitimate situations. The goddamn Kennedy, when he was in Dallas, didn't get loaded into a goddamn ambulance this fast, right? Because they were running out of time on the pre-show. But whoosh, it was standing by. We know somebody's going to get fucked up tonight, so we've got it with the engine running, and boom, and here we go. So the world heavyweight champion in the main event of the pay-per-view has just been taken to the ambulance on the free show.
And they end it with him being taken away, yelling at Adam, "Please don't let them take away my championship," and you have Adam Cole looking conflicted.
Yes, like, what am I going to do about this shit?
So again, I think for AEW, not justifying it, their thought is this is not only part of the overall storyline, but hopefully putting it here would cause someone at home to say, what's going to happen now? If MJF can't wrestle, what's going to happen in the main event? But I think most people probably figured he would somehow get back there. Don't you think?
Well, yes, because this is being performed by fans of the Attitude Era for fans of the Attitude Era. It's a fucking cover band at this point, isn't it? Or a tribute band. It's like the Rumors of Fleetwood Mac is, whatever.